We were wrong about Die Rise, guys. I'll admit it first, I was wrong about this map. This map isn't that bad. Now, before you click off the video and get mad at me and say something really mean in the comment section, hear me out for a second, okay? This is the next video in my re-ranking map series, and let's just get right into it. Number one, compared to Transit, this map is actually extremely pleasing to look at. From the skybox to all the different rooms and training spots and camping spots, there's a ton of variety visually on the map, which keeps me very engaged constantly. And if I'm ever getting bored of a particular spot, I can always just move somewhere else, or hell, just enjoy the scenery if I want. Because with this particular map, you can do that. There's quite a lot of pretty visuals to look at with this extremely dynamic skybox where you see all the pieces of the floating Earth that were blown off by the rocket and some of the fragments coming down in this blaze of glory. It's just such an interesting idea on the backdrop of this just amazing burning skyscrapers and the city, with the city just completely covered in fog, leading to a real feeling of post-apocalyptic chaos going on. You know what I mean? Now that we're done gushing over all of that, let's actually talk about the map itself. So for the setup, you still kind of have that problem with Transit, where it becomes extremely easy to quickly get done with your first objective, which is the power room. All you have to do is go down the elevator, spend 750 points, and there you go, you're now in the power. Kind of boring, not all that good when it comes to map progression, but for some reason on this map, I'm actually okay with it. Whether that's because the setup in general is just much better than Transit, or because it's just a nice change of pace, I'm not sure, but I genuinely enjoy it. Speaking of which, we are actually now in the same room where we can get this liquefier parts. And this is also unfortunately another flaw. Having one of the most overpowered and ridiculous wonder weapons just kind of be on the floor, which you can get on round one, definitely isn't the best way of going about it. But hey, at least it's not some stupid mystery box wonder weapon. I always hate when maps do that. And of course, while getting our liquefier, we should definitely look at what perks we have, which leads into a very big positive about the map, is how the setup actually can be randomized, leading to a bunch of different varieties if you ever want to reload into the map. So here's an example. One game you could get double tap and mule kick in these first two elevator slots, or in the next game you could get Juggernog in the Pack-a-Punch station, leading to map knowledge and process of elimination actually being a very key part when thinking about the setup. Because if you know what has spawned in every single elevator in one of the buildings, then you know, hey, through process of elimination, that say the Pack-a-Punch station is actually going to be in the other building, which is very nice and actually leads to some skill expression in the setup itself. There's also the Tramplestein, which is a great way of getting around the map. However, I find it kind of redundant, as I already know the map pretty well, so the Tramplestein is not exactly needed to save time, and also I just honestly like running around the map quite a bit, so I don't need the Tramplestein. And as for effectiveness in killing zombies, well, the Raygun Mark II lasts until about the 50s, and the Liquefier obviously lasts until about round 100. So the Tramplestein really isn't needed unless you're actually going for a world record at that point, so I don't find much use in it. And unfortunately, in terms of the setup, that's kind of it. You really have your perks, your Pack-a-Punch station, your Galvanuckles, and that's about it. This map unfortunately does suffer from the exact same problem as Transit. However, again, just due to the fact I find it more fun to move around and it's more fun to look at than Transit, it's inherently better. Not by much, but it is definitely better. Setup overall, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now, let's actually talk about the high rounds, because the high rounds are actually really fun. Due to the fact this liquefier is so blatantly overpowered in pretty much every single regard, ammo efficiency, the ammo is incredible at 50, infinite damage until round 100, and the fact that honestly all you need to do is shoot one zombie and then shoot the ground to make sure that they can't get near you, and that's it. Go hog wild. And again, due to this insane versatility of the weapon, that makes pretty much any spot on the map a potential camping spot or training spot. There's so much variety when it comes to the strategies on the map, it's kind of overwhelming. You can kind of just make them up as you're going along, and as long as it's relatively safe or allows the liquefier to just transfer its infection over to the zombies, then it really doesn't matter where you go. Just make sure you have some kind of escape route just in case, and you're free to do whatever. And again, unlike Transit, we actually have a feature that's needed, and also that spices up the gameplay in the jumping jack rounds. Not only does this give you a free max ammo, and is a great alternative to Hellhounds, if you do not miss a shot, aka just use melee or the Tramplestein, you will get a free perk every single time. You use the Tramplestein, you can get the perk bottle every single time. And Mule Kick, which by the way, look at how terribly pixelated the Mule Kick icon is on this map. What happened? Like, Jenny, what happened with the Photoshop on this? That is hilarious. And while we're actually talking about perks, unfortunately for all my Die Rise lovers, we're gonna have to talk about the massive elephant in the room, which is Who's Who. This has to be the worst perk they have ever implemented ever. If you do not know how the perk works, when you go down, you will be sent into an alternative body of yourself and you will spawn in with literally nothing. You will have an M1911 and none of the perks that you had before you went down. However, it does have the massive reward that if you do revive yourself, you will not consume your quick revive and you will keep all your perks that you had when you went down. However, if you are on any round above, I don't know, say 20, you have a very low chance of being able to make it to your body without A, going down, or B, taking such a long time to train up the zombies that you just bleed out and die. The only redeeming quality of this perk is the fact that they realized how terrible it was and they made it only 2,000 points. But even then, that's hardly a consultation. And here we go, the worst perk ever made. Come on, man. Dude, that is so bullshit unfair, man. Who made this perk? This perk sucks. Dude, I don't even need to say anything. That's why. And the fact both of those count as downs is stupid too. Like, come on, man. Now, normally this is where anyone would talk about the Easter egg. However, unlike Transit, where you're forced to do the Richtofen side, it is quite literally impossible to do the Easter egg on Die Rise. It is mandated that 4 people do it. Even though the steps could easily be completed by 1 person, and there's a mod on PC to let you do the Easter egg solo, this does not exist on consoles or on the base version of the game. So, quite frankly, I can't talk about it, as that would be unfair to solo players, 2-player teams, or 3-player teams. You can't do the Easter egg unless you have 4 people exactly, which is so dumb, and I could get into a rant about that, but I think you and I both know how stupid that is. And I'm looking at my notes that I've written down, and that's basically it. There's not much else to this map, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like they could have added quite a bit aside from this liquefier, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. And especially after Transit, I am very desperate for something that's not ash and volcanic bullshit. And with everything I've said, all the positive things and all the negatives, I think I've come to a fairly reasonable conclusion, and I think that my new ranking is gonna have to be a C. It's a C tier map. Now, the reason why I have this down as a C.2 and not like just a regular C is because it's not a C plus, but it's not bad enough to be a C negative. So I just kind of went full ADHD brain and was like, you know what? Fuck it. 0.2. You could maybe upgrade this to a 0.25 if you're feeling generous. But quite honestly, after rewatching that Who's Who clip, I got angry again and I kind of want to reduce this to a 1, but I feel like that'd be a little bit unfair. So C.2, that's what we're going with. And with all that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share this video if you guys agree, or maybe if I change your mind. Also, apparently YouTube has kind of been screwing me over because for some reason, my shorts are getting a shitload of views, but my last video wasn't doing that hot. It's a new series I'm doing, a Race to Top 10 ZWR, where me and my friends are going to try and get to records on top 10 in the top 10 leaderboards, so I highly recommend you check that out. Go check out my Transit review. It's all on my channel. I'm a small channel, so you know, help your boy out a little bit. Hope you all have a great day. Peace out, love in the Middle East and all that bullshit. Later, y'all.